I am actually, high-key, very excited because I've been wanting to watch this video for a hot second now, and I haven't been able to because we've been too busy talking about a bunch of other stuff. But I would like to discuss the guy who went to Japan to talk about Assassin's Creed having a black person in the game. And I think it's time to watch it, guys. I think it's time. I do think it's time. Yeah, I think it's high time we go and watch it because I'm sorry, this shit is so funny. People who've been posting shit like this, it's hilarious. I can't believe they thought this was a good idea. Gamers 9/11 having to pick between a woman and a black person. Oh God, what do I do? Oh, but I hate women and black people equally. Fuck. Oh gosh. So let's try it, shall we? Let's see what the people of Japan have to say.
What's up, guys? I'm Kabrutus, and I came to Akihabara to ask Japanese people what they think. What are their thoughts about the latest Assassin's Creed trailer? Ubisoft had just released the trailer last week, and I've seen many people over the internet sharing their opinions. I think that in this case, Japanese opinion matters a lot. Don't you guys think? So I brought my friend Sean with me. Say hello to them, Sean. Yeah. He's a dear follower who quickly became a friend of mine here in Japan, and he's gonna help me with the interviews and translating what people say. Okay, so let's get to it.
Also, evergreen tweet to show anyone who ever talks about historical accuracy. Futuristic artifact with superpowers in 1476 Italy. Black man in Japan. As a black guy, a black guy as the main character in feudal Japan. LMAO. Remember when Assassin's Creed games cared about historical accuracy? It's like, God, it's so, oh my God, it's just, okay, let's go.
So ask them if I can interview them one per time, because I would like to interview them to ask for their answers separately.
一応そのインタビュー、質問は一人ずつでもよろしいですか？ちょっと、はい。
大丈夫？
はい。じゃあ、お先によろしいですか？じゃあ、お先にちょっとこちらトレーラーの方を。
Okay, so first you'll watch a minute of this video, the trailer for the Assassin's Creed game. Then we'll ask you some questions on whether you think it appropriately represents Japan.
表し方、表現はその適切だと思うか、ちょっと意見をくださればとお願いします。
What did you say?
Just show them the video.
Okay, sure. So here's the trailer of the game. Make sure you can hold it.
一応こんな感じですっていうことです。
And then it's just like the trailer for Assassin's Creed that for some bizarre reason they didn't cut out of the video.
So, do you think that the trailer that you just watched is actually a good representation, a good and accurate representation of Japanese people, history and culture?
今のトレーラーを見て
After watching the trailer, do you think it was a good representation of Japan's culture and history? I'm not super detailed on Japanese culture, but I didn't think that there was anything strange with it.
Good.
以上 no more question 以上
No more questions.
Sorry.
一応メインの方です
So what did you say?
He's not very specific, but he doesn't say too much strange going on.
Too much strange going on. Okay, so what did you think about?
The high-tech artifact is so divorced from reality that it isn't offensive. The real historic figure, exaggerated to be a samurai, is a little iffy. Oh, yeah, for sure. Uh, you're joking, right? This is when you say that you're joking. This is when you say that. All I'm gonna say is Assassin's Creed fans don't agree with you. Here's a post from 2 years ago on the subreddit. Whole concept of the games is that the history we think we know isn't the real history that happened. The games aren't aiming to be historical accurate, but to present an alternative secret history, i.e., history as it really happened in the world of Assassin's Creed. This can justify a lot of the historical accuracies in the series, intentional or otherwise. Of course, that explanation only gets you so far when it comes to well-documented and relatively recent history, e.g., how the spire of Notre Dame looked during the French Revolution. This is an accuracy in Unity because the devs wanted to include a more familiar 19th century version, and that probably can't be justified as a Templar cover-up. I just think that Assassin's Creed fans would disagree with you personally. Yeah, why are we harvesting rice in spring? Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. It was someone mentioned the fact that the Assassin's Creed gameplay trailer showed rice that was, I think, either being harvested or was ready to harvest at the same time that sakura trees were in bloom, which is not possible. So for me personally, I have to say I agree with you. The real crops, the real way that crops work and when you can harvest them and when you can't, being exaggerated is just a little iffy for me as well. I do agree with that. Anyways, I'm sure the other Japanese people will have a lot more to say, right?
The characters that were depicted in the trailer, do you think that they fit well the Japanese people future history points?
トレーラーで、登場したキャラクターは日本の
What did you think about the characters? Do you think they represent Japanese culture or if they fit in it? Good idea. 2x is much better idea. That's difficult. I didn't find anything strange with them, but it feels like it mixes some foreign aspects with Japan, but in a good way. I love the leading questions that still get shot down, by the way. And then I guess they bring another guy in and they're like, hey, watch this. And we're going to ask you some questions. After watching the trailer, the game is set in the Sengoku period, but do you think it's a good representation of Japanese history? Also, what did you think of the characters? The characters looked fine to me, and the weapons used looked like Hinawa Juyu matchlock, so I don't think that there was anything weird with it.
He said they're using the appropriate weapons, so it's not too much of an issue or anything weird that he's.
Okay, go.
And then I guess they go and talk to other Japanese people. Why do I have to edit this for you, dude? Like, why did you make me watch the same trailer a bunch of times?
So, do you think that this is a good and accurate representation of Japanese story and people? And also,
After watching the trailer, the game is set in the Sengoku period, but do you think it's a good representation of Japanese history? Also, what do you think of the characters in the trailer, mainly the black samurai and the shinobi? Do you think they are a good form of representation? The samurai is a Japanese thing, but I don't think that there was anything weird with it. I think it was really good. So you don't think that there's any problems relating to the history or characters in the game? Oh, I think that there is. Aside from that, the video, it was so good I thought it was filmed live. I guess the translations were a little off on that. I think the clothing and the armor are well recreated or recreated and detailed. The video also looks really good. I think those aspects were well recreated.
The samurai character that was featured in the trailer is a historical figure called Yasuke. Are you familiar with him?
In the trailer, the black samurai character is a historical figure called Yasuke, but have you heard of him before? No, I don't know him. Fucking got it, dude. See, this is wokeism. This random Japanese Zoomer didn't know about Yasuke, and yeah, that's right. He said the game looked good, and he doesn't know that much about history, but he doesn't know Yasuke. So fucking owned and destroyed woke. After watching the trailer, it's set in the Sengoku period, but do you think it's a good and accurate representation of that period in Japanese history and culture? Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. I think it's really well done, actually.
The samurai character that is featured in the trailer is Yasuke. He is a historic figure of Japanese culture. Are you guys familiar with him?
The samurai shown in the video is a historical figure, but do you know who he is? Fucking owned yet again. That's right. They didn't know who Yasuke is. My favorite part about this is like the people who do know him are like, the game looks good. And the people who don't know him are like, the game looks pretty good. Like no one cares that the character is black. Not a single person.
I think that there's ever even no fiction.
I'm not too specific or familiar with the Assassin's Creed series. After hearing that every other game had the main character from that country.
And then at the end of the video, they just interview each other.
The respective country. That's when it felt really racist that Japan doesn't get that. Even the Shinobi character, like even though she's Japanese, and a lot of people have been saying like, hey, there is a Japanese character.
Hey, we just asked a bunch of Japanese people if they liked the way that the game looked and if they had any problems with it and if they knew who Yasuke was, and they said it was fine and it actually looked pretty good. But I think it's pretty fucking racist, dude. I'm gonna be honest, it's pretty racist. I'm gonna be honest.
From what I've seen, Ubisoft said that Yasuke is going to be the main character, and the main character, Yasuke, is not Japanese, and that's how I feel it's racist when it comes to the Japan remake.
Yeah, but were you familiar with Yasuke before this trailer?
Absolutely nothing.
Really? Oh, okay.
I've not heard of him until
curious.
now.
And if you look back at the interviews we just had earlier today, in my opinion, it doesn't seem that Japanese people are familiar with Assassin's Creed or even Yasuke himself, right? What would you say about it?
I would say that would be correct. When I saw the Assassin's Creed Shadows thing and how that blew up, I asked a few of my coworkers who are also gamers if they even knew Assassin's Creed or Yasuke, and both of them said no. It doesn't seem that anyone in Japan that I know at least knows about the series or the character Yasuke, not the character, the historical figure.
So you think that would you think that when they look at the trailer, they think that it's just a fictional story and that's it?
I think so, yeah. I'm not sure if they realize that Assassin's Creed originally is supposed to be kind of historic or somewhat historically accurate to some point.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why we got what we heard today.
Okay, that's all I had to ask, and thank you, Mr. Shaw, for your time.
I just don't have any words. Like, I just don't have any words. You walked around in Japan to try and find a racist Japanese person that's mad about the video game. Because, like, here's the thing. If you want to see people talk about racism in Japan, there's a lot of Black creators on YouTube who they were born and raised in Japan, and they happen to be Black, and they can tell you what that experience is like. Because I know, shocker, but like most countries are pretty racist. It's kind of crazy, but it's kind of true. The idea that you would go in Japan and be like, surely there's someone on this street here that doesn't like the fact that the main character in a Japanese set game is Black. Do you have a problem with this? No. Do you have a problem with this? No. How about you? No. What? And then this comment. Wokes hate this one simple trick. When all else fails, just get your own cameraman to give you the answer you wanted. No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. Like, no one. I'm sorry, but no one cares. No one cares. The people talking about historical accuracy of Assassin's Creed games when the series revolves around mankind being made by aliens that have godlike artifacts that can control human brains and track their locations through their blood. Yeah, but that's so divorced from reality, it's okay. Black people existing, well, I have to deal with that every day. Okay? I don't want to have to deal with it in my video games. Are you crazy? What are you, crazy? I just don't. Oh. It's a wacky world out there, guys. It's a wacky world out there.